Clarko, and you boys been pushing for a win over the last couple of weeks. Take half a win.
Oh God, you've had fakes in here, have you? Was he a bit flat? It's strange emotions when you have a draw. You know, they're probably saying to themselves, "Geez, we're 20 points up at half time, and how did we let that game slip?" And then we got ourselves a goal up, and we're saying to ourselves, "How did we let that game slip?" So both sides had their chances, and you know, there's a lot of key metrics that we're really pleased with. You know, Brisbane, the number one clearance team in the competition, and we were able to. We were pleased that we're just equal with them at half time, but then in the second half, you know, big ruck Sherry got on top of their rucks, and you know, gave us first look at the footy, and you know, the game swung as a result of that. So we're pleased with some aspects of our game that really made it difficult for Brisbane to be able to move the ball the way that they move the footy usually, and a lot of that is from clearance. So pleased that we're taking some steps forward. You know, it's 3 weeks in a row where we've slowly restricting opposition inside 50s, which obviously means you're slowly restricting the amount of times that they can score. You know, there was about a 3 or 4 week patch there for about round 3 or 4 through to round 6 or 7, where we're just conceding far too many scores and inside 50. So we've been able to correct that, and it's looked better on the scoreboard for us over the last 3 weeks without getting a W next to our name. So that's where we'll get true validation, when some of these methods that we're putting in place to restrict oppo scoring allows us to be in front at the end of the game, rather than either draw like today, or just slightly behind like it's been against Essendon and Port Adelaide the last couple of weeks. You
talk about the pleasing side of things. You know, you've probably won 2.5 quarters of football, and then the 1.5 quarters of football in Brisbane's favour. Is it pleasing, but it's frustrating at the same time as a coach?
Well, we're making some progress, and it's just so hard. You know, only the really, really good sides in the competition can maybe string, you know, 3 or 4 quarters of really, really consistent footy together, and that's because they've been playing together for a long period of time, and that's what was pleasing. You know, we got playing against a very, very experienced Brisbane outfit today, and we saw what they were able to do in the grand final last year. You know, they can score freely. They take usually a very, very high uncontested mark side, and so we've been pleased that we've been able to restrict sides like that. But you know, to go 2 quarters each, you know, they won the first 2 quarters, we won the second 2 quarters, and draw the game is a sign that our progress is on the right track. But you know, to be a really, really good side, we've got to do what Brisbane and the other top sides in the competition have been able to consistently do, and that's win 3 of the 4 quarters or 4 of the 4 quarters. That's when you become a really, really good side, and we're not quite there yet, but we're pleased that it's tracking in the right direction for us.
What was said at half time? You said you're down by 20 points, and then you come out and Sherry has that incredible third quarter where I think you had about 12 to 3 with the clearances all up. What was said at half time to sort of lift the boys up?
Well, as I said, we're pleased that we're in the contest in that part of the game, but yeah, he just got his hands on the footy a bit more. He had some clearances himself. We got the ball forward a little bit more from the clearance, and it was just a little bit more chaotic forward of the footy, which, you know, Brisbane are a really, really good side too. When you get your ball in hand, you know, they protect the space really, really well, and particularly someone like a Harris Andrews, who's just a master at it behind the ball. So yeah, sometimes when the ball goes in there a little bit more chaotically, it works in your favour, and that was certainly the case in the second half.
What was your take on sort of the final, you know, minute or so and that sort of last push inside 50 that you guys had?
Yeah, well, I think over the course of the whole game we had our chances, and you know, I thought Brisbane, to their credit, were a lot cleaner with their use of the ball in the front half of the ground, and that comes with an experienced side and played with one another a lot, and they kick it to the advantage of their teammates. So I thought their polish looked better forward of the footy than what we did. The pleasing part for us is if we can clean that part of our game up. You know, I reckon we left, and Brisbane will probably be the same, but when they'd look at some of their missed opportunities. But I felt we left 5 or 6 genuine goal-scoring opportunities for us out on the park tonight. So the pleasing part for us is if we can rectify that, keep our clearance work really, really strong, and our defensive action in terms of restricting the opposition from being able to move the ball the way they like, but clean up the polish of when we've got the footy. We had 5 or 6 set shots from players who are our best kicks in the side that didn't convert those opportunities, and then another 5 or 6, I reckon, where we were going across the arc and just missing targets, or just not quite kicking it to our advantage, and Brisbane intercepting the ball. So we're hoping if we can clean that up a little bit, it might apply a little bit more scoreboard pressure to the opposition.
And, do you think there's merit in extra time for regular season games? You mentioned sort of a bit of a flat feeling after this. And do you think it's worth it?
This has been a debate going on for years and years, and what it does do, and it's not probably going to apply to us as much, but certainly to the Brisbane side, the draw does change up the dynamics of one side in the top 8. Is that the first draw for the year? I think it is. So one side in the top 8 now has got different points. It's unlikely unless there's more draws to the teams that are in the top 8. It's not going to come down to percentage on where Brisbane finish now, because it'll be a points differential. So anyway, it's been an ongoing debate for many a year, that, and probably continue to be so.
Are you on either side of the debate? Or doesn't matter?
No, not really. I'm a bit of a traditionalist. So I like the idea of extra time being played in finals, but don't mind so much with the. At least when you walk away from the game, you're not a loser. But the disappointing thing for both sides is you come here, trying to secure the win, and it's a bit deflating for both Fags and myself, and both the sides that wasn't the case. But both sides had a crack. The ground was in great nick. We couldn't have had better conditions here in Hobart in terms of a game of footy. And it was a great contest. There was only a couple of goals that separated the sides for the whole of the contest, and we were pleased we were able to compete so well against the reigning premier. But hopefully, if we apply ourselves in a similar sort of manner, we can play well against Richmond next Sunday. Good on you guys. Thank you.
Thanks so much.